Hello everyone, this is Angelica from Juju Planet. Today we are going to Tianjin to meet with a traditional Chinese medicine doctor. The most special thing about him is that this doctor comes from Colombia. So how has he become interested in Chinese medicine? And what about his favorite parts about living and studying in China? Let's meet Henry Tarazona and hear about his story.
My name is Henry Tarazona. I am a Chinese medicine doctor. I've been studying and living in China and also working as a Chinese medicine doctor for already 10 years.
What is the most interesting part you find when you are learning about Chinese medicine?
The interesting thing about the Chinese medicine is that it's not only medicine, it's related with philosophy and it's also related with culture, so there will be no Chinese medicine without the Chinese culture. More things, there are a lot of things compiled in that. When I was working, I think one of the experiences that I was like, what, there was sometimes maybe old people, they're old-fashioned and everything, and when they see me, they are surprised, oh, a foreign, doing Chinese medicine, it's weird, because here in China, of course, most of the people, I will say maybe 99.999, they're all Chinese, doing Chinese medicine, there is a few foreigners actually doing it here in China. And then these old people came to me and they were like, oh, no, my mentor was telling them, oh, he's going to treat you. And they were like, no, I don't want he treats me. And my mentor was like, he is the one that is going to treat you. He's my student and he knows what he's doing, but, he will treat you. And they were complaining all the time, oh, I don't want. And I was for example, treating them, doing acupuncture, doing tuina, this massage. And they were complaining all the time, And I was really, inside of me, feeling kind of bad, about it, And the thing is after that, the next day, these old people will come back and then they will look for me, and telling me, can you do it again? They were actually really happy because they knew that actually there is not really difference, maybe, the face maybe shocked them at the first, but at the end they thought, oh yeah, but he studied really good, and actually they see that there were good results, so they came again to look for me,
How and why did you become interested in Chinese medicine?
I think first of all is because my parents are doctors, so I have kind of an influence from my parents. And then since I was young, I was I don't know, maybe influenced by Chinese movies. I was really amused about Chinese culture and everything, and I was thinking that it would be really nice to come to China. And after that, some friend of mine introduced me to Chinese medicine and I started to study Chinese medicine.
What about the most difficult part?
Of course, it's to learn Chinese medicine in Chinese. It's really hard, and I think the hardest part may be to study the ancient books. In Chinese medicine, there is a lot of books that were written maybe 2,000 years ago and things like that, the Yellow Emperor, in Chinese calls Huangdi Neijing. I mean, nowadays I really like them. I actually specialize on translation and classes on these kind of books. I think it's really important, if you really want to understand the Chinese culture and the Chinese medicine, you have to read these books. And the thing is, right now, in foreign countries, there is not a lot of information about these books, and if you don't really learn them, you will not really understand the deepness of Chinese medicine, so they are really important.
What do you think is the major difference between Chinese medicine and Western medicine?
The main difference is maybe the way of treating the patients, the way you have to think about treating the patients. Western medicine is really direct. It's oh, I have a headache, I will give you some medicine for that. But Chinese medicine doesn't do that. Chinese medicine is more about thinking where that headache came from. The Chinese medicine compiles this philosophy and also the culture.
So for many people who are used to like apply Western medicine, they might find that Chinese medicine are not that dependable or trustworthy. What do you think of that?
I think it's also a matter of time, because like Chinese medicine is not as, how to say, like recognized as Western medicine nowadays. And it's not because like Chinese medicine is not working, it's because maybe like before in the past, China kind of like closed like his frontiers to the Western world, and there was like a time of period where China didn't really share a lot of things with the Western world, It's a matter of time till Chinese medicine kind of like start to get recognized and people could see like their uses. Because they are for different places, okay, so you can see they're not as thick as this one. This one is maybe more for the head and this one is just for...
So when you introduce Chinese medicine to foreigners, how's their reaction?
Yeah, so of course it depends, if there are foreigners that live in China, I think it's easier to do it, and if it's foreigners from other countries, it's a little bit different, I just show them there is a lot of research first of all, so you can actually show that on the research Chinese medicine is working and there is a really good results on that. And also I use some of the cultural things, and I explain them that, for example, the most easy thing to explain them is like all the Western medicine comes also from plants, You can also explain it by the nervous system, so how the nerves and everything and your brain is related to your body, and then they will understand, they're like, oh, it makes sense, Chinese medicine things, So, did you ever saw this?
No.
So this is like a cup. It's made of glass to make a technique with close cupping that I will maybe do it later. Also we have here something that calls fire needles. So these needles are...
If you ask them to try Chinese medicine, for example, the acupuncture, are they usually willing to try? Have you ever persuaded anyone to try?
Yeah, actually a lot of here, at my place, the things like this. Maybe for some foreign people here in China, for them to go to the hospital is a little bit maybe cultural shock. So a lot of actually foreign people, they come to my place, to my house, and I have a place so I can treat them, and most of them, they never had acupuncture, they never had Chinese medicine, After they try acupuncture and they realize that it has effects on their bodies, then they feel really good about it and they come back again and again, First, my major calls Chinese medicine, so inside the major you have to study kind of like acupuncture, tuina also as well, and also you study phytology, it's kind of like the herbs, prescriptions and herbs. And then I specialized, as you said, on acupuncture tuina. I did a master degree on that, and right now I'm doing a PhD. And acupuncture is like a technique, it's a Chinese technique also inside the Chinese medicine to treat a lot of diseases, and you treat them by doing some acupuncture, like using some needles to puncture people in certain points that will kind of in theory balance their body, and tuina is kind of like a type of massage, it's a Chinese massage that calls tuina, and it's like a deep tissue massage that actually is used to treat a lot of musculoskeletal diseases and to treat pain and stuff like that.
What's your hobby besides practicing Chinese medicine?
I have a lot of hobbies, I always been a really active person. Usually I like to sports, I go to swim, things like that. And I like to play music, musical instruments, and actually I play a Chinese Asian instrument that calls guqin. It's like Chinese sitar, that's the English name. That's basically all,
After staying 10 years in China, what does this country mean to you right now?
I think it means a lot because I spent kind of all my adult life here since I was 18 till now. So it's been great, the experience, and I kind of I know that if I leave one day China, I will miss it, the food, the people, especially the place you live, everything, it's kind of part of you, and it's always going to be a part of me,